There might be a situation in COM 210 in which you are unable to deliver the speech on your assigned speech day, or that you were unhappy with the score that you received, that you didn't have a good performance, and you would like to replace that grade. And so, what we allow in the course is a fifth speech. So, this speech can only be delivered one time, but it's a replacement grade of either a zero or a score that um, would like to, attempt to have a higher score. And so you can use this speech, which is the current event speech, to replace any of the speeches in the class. So perhaps you would like it to, replace the pitch, or maybe you would like it to replace the advocate. It's really up to you, but you only get to use it one time. And so we will not deliver this speech in the classroom. Instead, you will deliver this speech to a live audience, and you will record it. So you will submit the speech as a recording. So some things to let you know about the speech. One is that the speech is 4 to 6 minutes. So it needs to be somewhere between 3.5 to 6.5 minutes. It is an informative speech, so you are not persuading your audience. Instead, you are sharing new and useful information. This speech asks for you to select one current event, an important or noteworthy event that has happened within the last 3 months, and you're going to dig a little bit deeper in it. So, right now it's the middle of February, and so there seems to be a lot of controversy about perhaps there was some cheating going on in curling in the Winter Olympics. Perhaps that would be a topic. What I don't think I want you to do, and what I think I would really discourage you from doing, is choosing something very big. Like what you don't want to talk about is like what is going on in Ukraine. It's very complex. So if there was one thing that happened in the current conflict in Ukraine or the war, you could report on that and your whole speech could focus on that. So we're wanting you to go deep on a small subject rather than like really brief on a large subject. So you're going to look for a current event. It doesn't have to be political in nature, but it should be significant in some sort of way. But there are significant things that happen in the sports world, in the entertainment world, in the technology world. All of those things would be appropriate as well. Anything that you think and maybe even care about would be appropriate, and that you can convince a generalized audience that it's worth knowing more about. The goal of the speech is that maybe we saw it in the headlines or we listened to a quick, like 30-second explanation of what is going on the news. And you're going to dig a little bit deeper for those of us who don't have all of the information on the speech. So this speech will be organized like all of our speeches with an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. You can look at the outline format that's provided on Canvas, and you will have anywhere between 2 to 5 main points, and then you will have two subpoints with transitions between your introduction, point one, transition, point two, transition, point three, transition to the conclusion. One of the things that's important in this speech is that it's a research-based speech. You have to have four sources, and those four sources will be published in the last 24 months. So make sure that when you cite your sources, you cite them orally, so that we know, and in your oral citation include where it was published and when, just like we've done for all of the speeches in the class. For this assignment, you are going to submit two things. One is an outline with your works cited page, and the second thing you're going to submit is a link to a video. So we do not want your video files, partly because everybody's on a huge Canvas page, and so as you submit the computer files, it takes up a lot of space in Canvas. And secondly, sometimes you unintentionally give us a virus with your video files. So for our own security, you're going to need to upload that video to YouTube. And the directions are provided for you on Canvas. You can just follow these directions. Our advice is that you make it unlisted. That means if somebody were to Google, they wouldn't find it. But if anyone had the link, they would be able to open it. You do not want it private. A private YouTube link is only available for you. So make sure it's either public or unlisted. For this assignment, we ask that you use note cards. Those note cards, you're allowed 3 note cards. You can write on the front side only, and it needs to be handwritten. When you deliver this speech, you're going to do a couple of things before you start delivering your speech. So you are going to hit record on the speech itself on your camera, and most people it's effective if you just use your phone. So you're going to record. You're going to hit record. You're going to show us the three, uh, you know note cards that you have. And so you're just going to bring them up to the camera and you're going to show us what they are. So you're going to say, okay, here's my first one, here's my second one, and then you're going to show us your third one, okay? So that we know what is on them. The other thing is you're going to pan the camera to the audience. You're going to have your audience member wave. So then we know that they were present in your speech. The thing that's a little tricky is that we allow you to have an in-person audience or an online audience, but it has to be live, which means that this is not a recorded video that you send to people and have them watch, but instead it is, you hit record and then you show us your note cards, you show us your audience, you deliver the speech, then you turn the camera again and you show the audience, and then you hit stop. So we are not evaluating the quality of your lighting or things that are going on in the background. We are just interested in you delivering the speech. So you're going to have to flip the camera a couple of times. At the beginning, after you show your note cards, you're going to show the audience. Flip the camera around so we can see you deliver the speech so we can grade it, and then turn the camera back on the audience so that they stayed the whole time. It's possible to do this on um, Zoom also, but I would encourage if you want to record on Zoom that you make sure you're logged onto your Ball State, you're onto your Ball State. So I would go to bsu.zoom.com and it will help you. It'll create, it allows you to record and allows you a lot of other things. And then one of the other things that's important is that we need to be able to see you. You need to be big in the frame. So um, lots of people have a hard time figuring out how to do that on their Zoom. And so instead, what you might do is just use your camera, have the people on Zoom, and then you don't have to record the Zoom call. You can just do it on your phone. So on your phone, you would show us the Zoom page, and then you would make them one of the people on Zoom. You need three adults that are watching you. So ideally, what you're doing is you're going to do this in your living room in front of some family members, or maybe if you are not at home with your family, maybe you're doing it in the residence halls. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go to one of those, like rooms that you have that is available, like a study space, and then your friends will be in there, and you record your friends, and then they watch you deliver the speech. You record that as well, and then you pan back to them. The other thing is that you are not sitting down delivering the speech. There is a standing requirement. And so you are going to want to give your speech or record yourself so that we can see you. So I would like you to deliver the speech from here. Okay, so you're going to talk to the people and then we can give you feedback from, the waist up so that we can see you delivering the speech. Because what we're trying to do is we are trying to replicate the speech that you do in the classroom. So those are the different elements. We're happy to talk you through it. Often people who have missed a speech who are doing this one, because we didn't have class where we spent time talking about it and then additional days picking out your topic, we really encourage you to consider going to the Speaking Center. If you make an appointment with the Speaking Center, they can walk you through the steps associated with a current event speech. I think it could be really helpful and increase the likelihood of you doing really well on the assignment. Let us know if you have any questions. Our advice is we really try to get you to do your speech, if you miss a speech, to do the current event speech within 2 weeks of the date that you missed the speech. Sometimes that's not possible, but the sooner the better because then it can replace your zero and make a huge impact. But technically, we will take this speech until like the last week of the semester. So if you are watching this and you are like, am I too late? You are not too late. We really want your speech. We want to help you get through the course and be successful. Let us know how we can do that. Okay, good luck on the speech. I hope it goes well.